The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.org.
11 o'clock. We should go. Okay, all right, so I think I need a little more volume on this microphone. So testing. Hello, hello, a little more, a little bit more. Okay. All right, can you hear me out there?
Yes.
Well, no smart aleck remarks allowed, please. It's not yet anyway. Yeah, no kidding. It is a crowd. I'm really happy to hear that. Welcome, everybody. I am Tony Hanson. I'm president of this illustrious organization. I'm glad to have all you here and to have all of you on Zoom who have joined us for today's meeting. And does it have to turn this thing on to make it work? We'll do it the old-fashioned way. We won't. I'm not going to do it at all. There we go. Okay, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. So, hopefully you're all aware that we have a page on our website where we post the minutes from the previous meetings and that you've had a chance to look those over. And I'll ask at this point, are there any corrections or updates or additions to the minutes from the November meeting? And hearing none, I'll assume that those are correct as posted. It's going to be one of those days, I can tell. Okay, so our financial summary has been provided by Susan Rainwater, our treasurer, and we have money scattered around a couple of different accounts, a checking, a savings, and an investment account. The total of all that is we still have about 171,000 and some change, so financially we're in really good shape. And traditionally what we have done is we have identified projects or things as an organization that we want to fund. We don't have anything quite in mind quite yet. That's why this money is building up, but I assure you it is all going to go to a very, very good cause just as soon as we identify what that is. Not so quick there, because we don't want to pass up Melissa. For those of you who want to know, Melissa Fleming spells her name with one M, as I learned out, much to my dismay, because I ordered her name tag wrong. But Melissa has recently joined the board and is our new Director of Information Technology. She is here today, and we welcome her to the board. You may recognize her sitting over here quite a bit from previous meetings. She's been part of our technology team for quite a while now, helping run all of our online stuff. So we're delighted to have her step into a little bit bigger role and welcome her onto our board. So welcome. Yes, indeed. I'd also like to welcome Pat Hernandez. Pat has been helping Patty Smith with the various things and has decided she wanted to do a little bit more. So she is now our new Director of Volunteer Coordination. So she's not going to be able to join us here today live, but she's quite excited about joining the board and we're excited about working with her. So Pat, again, thank you for volunteering for that. We do still have one open position. We're looking for a Director of Publication Content. And this has to do primarily with helping us organize our newsletter and get some articles lined up for there, as well as some overall coordination of our publications, both online and anything that we decide to do in print. If that sounds like it's interesting to you, let me know. We'll put you to work. The newsletter team has been quite busy. This is part of our most recent edition. That's been headed by Michelle Cohen and assisted by Joanne Graham, Susan Younger, and Barbara Ware, a couple of people who are here. They've been doing it. And Susan Rainwater. I am sorry. And Susan Rainwater is also helping out there too. They've been doing a good job, but they'd like a little bit more help as well. So if you're interested in working with, as you're going to hear, our award-winning newsletter team, they would very much be interested in hearing from you. So if you would contact Michelle, her address is a newsletter at dallasgenealogy.org and join the fun. It's a fun team and it's a good effort and a good product. We're always looking for content as well. The one running theme that we have is a theme of out of the attic. This is where if you discover something in your past, I just discovered a bunch of old cookbooks from my grandparents, things like that, that just kind of stimulate your interest and want to share a little bit about your history, your family, the research that you're doing. We encourage you to write up an article about it and submit it, and we'll publish it for you. This isn't one of those, NGS quarterly kind of things where we'll come back and, nit every little comma and quote, they'll clean it up and make it look good. But this is just basically an opportunity for you to share your story. We keep hearing from guys like Kurt Witcher and other people, nobody wants your junk. Nobody wants your box of stuff but they are interested in your stories. That's what your family is interested in. That's what we're interested in. And we would love to help you promote that. So write it up, send it to the newsletter team, and we'll help make you famous. Hopefully you all participated in our community interest survey. This was something that was identified in our planning conference last August. We wanted to get a better feel for what you want us to do. We say, well, we want to do what the people want. Well, what do the people want? Well, I don't know. So we did a survey. And so we sent it out to about 2,200 people. We got about a 15% response rate, which I understand from the people who understand this kind of stuff, that was a really good rate. So thank you for those of you that participated. Thank you also to Kathleen Murray, who helped put the survey together. She also did a very wonderful job of doing a comprehensive analysis of the results for us. And so we now have a little more insight into, who you are and things like that, and also what you want. So you're going to see as we go forward, we're going to be trying to do more things in line with what you have expressed as interest for you. So hopefully you're going to start seeing more presentations and more things in line with what it is you would like us to do. So stay tuned for that. We did participate in the Texas State Genealogical Society annual conference. That was November 10th and 11th with the live days. If you've bought into it, the videos are available for the next 90 days. Lots of good stuff. We were an exhibitor, another one of those virtual hall things again, which we're learning to deal with a little bit better. And happy, kind of proud to say that DGS outperformed all of the other exhibitors in just about every major category. And there were some pretty heavy hitters in that. That was my heritage and family tree. We got more stuff like, booth visits and, chat comments and things like that than anybody else that was participating. So really kind of happy about that, and really impressed with the job that Kim Edge and Sharon Bowles and Michelle Dwyer did for us, keeping people engaged, answering the comments, and, just generally being a virtual presence. It's hard. It's much easier to sit in a booth and talk to people when they walk by, but you have to kind of be diligent to hang in there for a 2-day period, and they did a great job for us. So very, very happy with that. We got about 50 additional contacts, which is really kind of the whole goal for us, to get names and email addresses to add to our mailing list, so that they see about our seminars and other things like that. So pretty good deal for us. We're happy. We'll probably do it again. As part of what the TXSGS does as well, they have a number of awards that they give at the end of the year, and they just had their annual meeting last night. Cheryl Freeman, our representative, was there and did the voting for us for some of the people that were elected. And there were a number of awards given. I'd like to talk about that. So our newsletter was awarded second place in the publication for a society, which was actually, considering the fact that there was about 10 or 12 societies that nominated and submitted their newsletters, this wasn't a matter of that there was only 2 of us that submitted. So I think that speaks really well for the job the newsletter team is doing. And I'm very impressed and very proud and pleased. That sounds like that movie, Apollo 13. That's what they teach the wives to say. I'm proud, I'm pleased, but I'm all that and I mean it. It comes from the heart. So thank you for all you who have been involved in that, all you who have contributed to great content, and we're proud of that. We're even prouder of our website because we got first place in that contest. So we're really proud of that. Todd, Susan, and myself did a redesign, and it's nice to get some recognition and some awards for that. So we were quite happy. But there was some other stuff that went on too. Aaron Wilkins and Kelvin Myers were named as fellows of the society last night. So Kelvin is here, of course, and he's going to be speaking a bit later on. Ari, we all know from the public library. And so along with Colleen Lavelle Green was also named as a fellow, but that's a high recognition from that organization, rewarding and recognizing people who have made significant contributions to the thing that we all know and love. So congratulations to all of you, and we're very proud of you too. So well done. Just an empty slide in here. Wouldn't be that. We are finalizing our nomination for Lloyd Boxtruck to the National Genealogical Society Hall of Fame. I would really like to give a great shout out to Pat Hatcher, who spent a great deal of time with me going over that nomination form, teaching me the difference between straight and curly quotations and all these other things that Pat is so good at and I'm not. So she spent a lot of time going through with that, as well as filling in some of the information that we did not have. She knew Lloyd had worked with him quite extensively, and so she did a wonderful job of helping, I think, really beef up our nomination. I understand from her that it's really rare for somebody to get accepted on the first nomination. So while we have high hopes and we have a great submission now, if not this year, then maybe future. There's, I was going to say there are people dying to get this nomination, but that's in poor taste. But there are a number of people who are in line to get it, who've been nominated in years past. So sometimes you just got to kind of wait your turn, but maybe we'll get lucky this year. We have received some letters of support, so we've got the whole package just about ready to go, and that will be submitted probably sometime next week. If you knew Lloyd at all, he loved a good joke or a good pun at the start of a meeting. And so just kind of in the spirit of that, I've got a question for you. What's the difference between a politician and a genealogical society leader? Anybody? I mean, obviously they get paid a heck of a lot more. Well, once elected, a politician immediately begins campaigning to be reelected. Unlike a genealogical society leader who is campaigning to find somebody else to be elected. Which of course now brings us up to the subject of a nominating committee. We have elections, we have to have our slate in place by April, and we hold the elections in May. So, now is the time to start thinking about a couple of things. Would you be interested in being on the nominating committee? This is really important for the organization because the nominating committee selects the people who are the future of our society. So this isn't something that we just want to, draw names out of a hat or, do lightly. We want people that are going to be, effective and fruitful leaders of the organization. So, that's a serious commitment, as is the idea of being nominated yourself. So, this is the time to start looking inward and saying, would you like to give back a little bit to the organization or give back a little bit to genealogy as a whole? Would you like to be one of our officers? So sometimes it takes a little while. Sometimes it takes some conversations with your spouse. Is it okay if I do this? It's okay, because he or she will support you, I promise. But anyway, just want you to kind of plant that seed of thought. We're going to be putting the nominating committee together, and then they're going to be, tugging on sleeves, making phone calls and sending email. But this is an important thing for our organization. This is the future of our organization. And I hope that you all think seriously, about participating in some way. And for those of you who have already thinking, you know what the commitment is, but you also know what the fun it is. It's a weird sort of way we have fun doing this. It's a great group of people. And please consider joining us or nominating something too. And if you have any questions about that, just reach out to me. Can I talk about the new hours in the library? We have new hours in the library coming up. Don't look at that slide. Okay. I should have asked you beforehand. Just want to remind you that we've got some great seminars lined up for 2024. We've got Tom Jones coming in April. We have Nika Sewell-Smith coming in the summer. And again, one of the things that the survey that we sent out indicated is a tremendous amount of interest in DNA and almost as much interest about African-American research. And kudos to the people last year who put these presentations together, because as you can see in the summer, we're addressing the Black Studies research. And next fall, we've got Blaine Bettinger talking about DNA. And we're also going to give you a bonus in June. We're going to have kind of an intro getting started with DNA to kind of get you started and get you ready for Blaine in the fall. So we're already addressing a couple of those things that were obviously very popular in the survey. We got lucky on those, but we're going to address the other stuff that we haven't addressed yet and keep on hitting that way. We have some special interest group meetings. You see there's a question mark up there by MacGen. Patrick McCurk is having some health issues, and it's questionable whether that meeting is going to go, but Barbara Ware has stepped into the void and is going to run that meeting for us. So that will go on December 9th. The African-American group meets December 16th. The German group meets every other month. They're going to be meeting in January. And is the DNA, that's an odd month. So yes, DNA group is meeting in January, correct? DNA meets in January? Yes, okay. So that's an every other month thing now. So that's what's coming up. But do refer to the website when we have changes or things right there. That's where we try to post that information so that the most up-to-date information is going to be right there. So always refer to that. We do have several other groups that just don't have any meetings coming up immediately, but watch for them and join them and participate. It's a great way to meet people and to learn lots of interesting stuff that those groups focus in on. And if you go to our website and go under calendars and then special interest groups, that will pop up the calendar entries for all of the groups, and you can see what's going on, when, where, and how. Our next general meeting, again, reflecting some of the feedback that we've received over the years. We've had a bit of, let's say complaints, but people have trouble navigating the auditorium and the stairs and those little seats and all that. So next year, we're going to try having the first 3 meetings, January through March, on the 7th floor in the O'Hara room. So if you've been up there, that's a really nice room. There are no stairs, and hopefully it's going to be a little more conducive for us and to have our meetings and to be a little more enjoyable up there. Maybe we'll even set up some tables and some chairs. So if you want to take notes or set up your laptops, what have you, we can do that. But we're just trying some different things. And by all means, please let us know as we do these things, how well it worked. this is an example of something we're doing different too. We've, as you all know, there is a lot of stuff going on downtown this week. There's the Christmas parade, and we hope by moving out here, we would avoid all of the hassle of trying to get to the library and through the parade route and all that stuff. So again, we'd love to hear what you think about this and if it's something we're going to do every December. We've got an interesting presentation next January. We've got Jen Baldwin, who is a research specialist for Find My Past, who will be talking to us, looking into pledging brotherhood and an introduction to fraternal, benevolent, and secret societies. This is just a presentation that talks about looking at kind of an often overlooked source of information about the people that you're researching. Many of them were, members of these organizations. It used to be really popular to join the fraternal order or whatever. And Jen does a good job of talking about what the organizations were, a little bit of the historical context, and where you can find information about them. So it's a good way to consider finding some more information about the people you're researching that perhaps you haven't discovered yet. I want to give a huge thank you to the Dallas Public Library. This is just yet another wonderful facility that we have available to us to meet in. All the stuff was here when we walked in this morning. Jordan Bach did a great job of bringing the stuff over, and Stephanie helped get it set up. It's a pleasure to be able to walk in here and just take advantage of all this stuff. So thank you. We really, really appreciate that. And of course, Todd, we've got Barbara Coakley doing the questions and answers online. Melissa frequently does that for us. So our tech team does a good job as well. So thank you to all the volunteers that make these meetings just happen. I love it. I hit myself. So with that, I'm going to quit talking. We're going to bring Kevin Klaus up here. I'm going to Todd set up a slide, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kevin.
This has been a production